All right, here we go. Module 5.2, and we're going to write equations in standard form um, and point slope form. And I believe we're going to do the point slope form first. Again, this is just all about writing equations. We did graphing earlier. Now we're going to write equations, and I'm going to give you a graph, and you're going to give me the equation. You're going to know in and out all about equations and graphs. It's going to be so exciting. Okay, so you're like, what is point slope form? Well, I generally spend one day in point slope form because it's not that exciting to me, but it's very useful to you. It'll be very useful for you in geometry as well. It's going to be super useful. So um, here you're going to have this new form. That's a point slope form. It's a point and a slope. That's the biggest thing I want to remember, okay? So it's going to look like this. Y minus y sub 1 equals m times the quantity x minus x sub 1. So essentially, we are given a line that is it's non-vertical, okay? It's a function, right? It's a non-vertical line. And that way, because we have a slope, we can't have an undefined slope. That's why it's a non-vertical function. So let's say you're given 2 points, and we could go ahead and write it into slope-intercept form, into point slope form. Point slope form. Give me a point and a slope. Okay. So take a look at these guidelines right here. Some key concepts right there. And let's kind of see what that looks like. I'm going to kind of talk you through this over here. This looks a little bit cray-cray. All right. So example 1 says, write an equation in point slope form given the slope and a point. Okay. You're given a point and a slope. Gotcha. Here's our general form. Y minus y sub 1 equals m times the quantity x minus x sub 1. Let's go ahead and change my color. I want to write it in purple. Okay. And here's what you do. Put in what you know. Okay. Put in what you know. You know I have y minus 7 because that's our x right there. I have my slope, which is a negative 3/2. X minus, my x minus comes to my formula, negative 2. Go ahead and simplify that. Now here's what's going to seem kind of crazy to you. This is all that we want you to do for point slope form. Just this guy right here. Okay? That's it. That's simplified. You just, make these guys both positive, and that's it. Now, what you're used to doing is used to distributing and everything like that and getting something that looks like that. But you don't have to do all that. Nope, nope. Just leave it in point slope form. Knowing that it's in this format, we could easily graph it. Okay. So I could just graph it easily before just the points, but let's say I give you that equation in that format, and you can go ahead and put your guy down at negative 2, 7. Hang on. Go ahead and graph that. Sorry guys, DocGam's a little bit blind. I had to make it bigger. So I use the line tool with Cami here, the shapes tool, I mean, with Cami to make my line. And I'm going to put arrows on the end of that guy. So you need to have arrows at the end of him. It's not complete. Label the point 0, 4, 1, 2. Uh-oh. Well, I didn't get to 0, 4. Sorry about that. Hang on. Let me see if I can move that guy. Yeah, this Cami's not easy to work with. I'm sorry. At least I moved to 0, 4, but I lost my arrow someplace on it. So, but there are arrows on the end. Okay. So draw the line through points. We did it. All right. So now we know that if I have just this point slope, this is point slope. This is a different type of formula. Just a point and slope. Here's my point, negative 7 and a negative 2. And here's my slope. I could go ahead and write an equation as well as use a line. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next problem. Okay, go ahead and do the check right now and then graph it. Okay, and in this case here, they're going to give you a couple of points. They're not going to give you a slope. So guess you have to do first. Yes, you have to find the slope. Got to find the slope first. Then you put it in with either one of the points. It doesn't matter, but then you simplify it, okay? So here, you go ahead and put it in. You find your slope, which they found to be, I'm guessing they found it to be 1, because the answer is right there. And then you go ahead and put the points in, okay? So the final answer for that one should be y minus, and they said to use 6 and negative 3. Y minus, this is x, and that's y. Oh boy, hang on. Okay, so you're going to have y minus a negative 3, because a negative 3 comes from our y, sub 1, equals 1, that's our slope, times the quantity x minus 6. Now when you simplify it, just leave it as y plus 3 equals the quantity x minus 6. That's simplified version for point slope form. Okay, point slope form. Go ahead and do the work, and I need to see the work for the check right here. Okay, here's where you guys are going to get cranky with me. You're going to have to do this work off a notebook paper. There's no way you're going to find space for it. Okay, not writable space. I know you're going to try and do it, but please don't, okay? So do this on extra paper, on loose leaf paper on the side, but essentially going to go one step further. Now they're going to give it to you in slope intercept form, and then they want you to write it into, they're going to give it to you in point slope form, and they want to give it to you in slope intercept form. So they want you to give it to them in our standard form or slope intercept form. So in our form that we're used to, slope intercept form. Then we're going to make that in standard form. So yeah, I'm going to give it to all you. This is going to be mind-boggling. So they're going to give it to you in point slope form, and they want you to simplify it. Okay. So here's that's point slope form. Go ahead and simplify that to standard form. I'm sorry, to slope intercept form. Slope intercept form. And hopefully you got the answer. Y equals a negative 1/2 x plus 1. Y equals a negative 1/2 x plus 1. Okay. So example 4. Oh, I should give you the answers for examples. The checks, shouldn't I? Yeah, let me do that for you really quick. Hang on. Are there other checks? What's in the checks? I'm not really paying attention. Okay. Is that example 3? Yep. Okay. Oh, yeah. On the check before that, the check here, that answer is A. And then is there a check before that? Yeah. This check over here, the y is a negative. Actually, it's y minus a negative 5 equals a negative 3 times the quantity x minus 7. So y minus 5 equals a negative 3 times the quantity x minus 7. Okay. I forgot what I was doing. Oh, yeah, now we're going to apply. Okay. So really, you just have to read the problem, and you have to figure out how to solve it. Well, the biggest thing is understanding you're dealing with slope and y-intercepts. Slope and y-intercepts. So really, you only have to know, I got to find my slope. I have to find my y-intercept. So, I mean, you don't have to find your y-intercept. Let me phrase that. You have to find your slope. I was thinking something else. You have to find your slope, and then you have to put in slope intercept form. Sorry, gosh darn it. I just suck. Slope, once you put in your slope, then you put it in point slope form. Point slope form. Okay, I need a new thought process. That's it. There's nothing else you have to do. So here, Nadia's book club is ordering new novels. She knows that the total cost of 5 books is $61.25. 15 books are 15 books are $159.75. Write the equation in point slope form. So you need to find your rate of change. Okay, you need to find your rate of change. We'll make our x's be the total is the cost, the number of books. So x is right there. So they gave us the total cost y, ordering books x. They gave us x as the number of books, and that's going to be our y. This is our x sub 2. This is going to be our y sub 2. So you find the slope and you just put it in. That's all you have to do. Not that big of a deal. Do the check right there. And I told you they'd have a standard form here. Yeah, I got all my forms all in my head, like twisted like a monkey, like a pretzel. My head's all twisted like a pretzel. Okay, they're gonna give us standard form. Okay, now I give us standard form. Then you gotta go ahead and just simplify that to make it into from point slope form to standard form. So here we have point slope form to standard form. And don't forget our standard form is ax plus by equals c, where c's are constant, a's got to be positive, it can't be negative, okay? So that first value cannot be negative. It's going to be positive. You got to maneuver it that way. Go ahead and do your check. Okay, and building on with example 6 here, now we're just going to give you 2 points. You're going to have 2 points, and you're going to have to do a couple different things. First, they're going to want you to write an equation in standard form. So they want you to do for standard form. So you just go ahead. You got to find your slope. You got to find your y-intercept. You need those for sure. Once you have your slope and y-intercept, then you can go ahead and put it into standard form. Okay, so essentially what they did is they found the slope, okay, which is found to be 1/2. So they find your slope of the line. Then you get your slope, and then you use your slope to help you find your b. So they use this sort of pair here, 8 and a negative 4, to find the b. So now you have to write your equation. So now I have y equals 1/2 x minus 8. Hopefully you got it to that point. At this point here, I have to multiply everything by 2. Okay, multiply this side by 2 here, and multiply everything by here too. So now I'll get 2y equals that x minus 16. Okay, so now I have that. Now I have to go ahead and get my x's on one side with the y's, and then constants on the other side. So I'll go ahead and subtract. It doesn't matter how you get there is how you get there. I could go ahead and just subtract x from both sides. I get negative x plus 2y equals a negative 16. You cannot have that first term, that x term cannot be negative. So multiply everything by -1. That way it becomes positive. But that means every sign will now become different. Okay, every sign now becomes different. So that's how you get it to standard form. Go ahead and do the check. And hopefully you got D for your check. Double check your work if you did not, and figure out what you did wrong. You should have D for your check. Okay, that's it for this video. And the phrase that pays is Michael Crichton is a really good author. And my favorite book was, it, I forget what it's by. I like that one, Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park. Okay. Jurassic Park's a really good book. You need to read it. It actually is a really good book. The movie sucks. Okay, bye.